Sometimes in business, we have story time, and usually it's metaphors, and usually it's evaluating what we have done wrong, or how could we do better, or what is that post-analysis, or did we achieve our goals, where do we want to go from now, and dreaming really big. And as the vision holder or the person in charge of strategic growth and staying aligned to that, we have all of these things. And it's the time of year that we, at least in North America, we don't have a lot of light. It's colder, it's rainier, and we start wanting to bring our trees inside. And whatever your traditions are that bring your trees inside, there is something to be said for the perfect tree. I'm going to tell you a story that I heard one year that has stuck with me. It's of a little pine tree, and this little pine tree wanted to be chosen to be a tree by the king and the queen of this faraway land, because only the best, only the biggest, only the strongest, most beautiful trees are the ones that were chosen for all of the winter celebrations. So waited, and another year came by, and the tree was passed over. And now this little tree is less than a little tree. It's bigger and bigger and bigger, and it has imperfections. It has a hole on one side. Some of the branches are out of proportion to the rest of the tree. It's definitely not as tall or as wide or as full as the trees that tend to get chosen for being used in the castle celebrations. But here's the thing. The thing is, that tree has a lot of friends. Birds will come and build their nests in it. Rabbits will come and burrow into the snow. Deer will come to get out of the wind. The branches that are there overhang just enough that some creature can come and get shelter. And here's the thing, that imperfection, that ability to not be chosen to go to the castle for the celebrations actually means they're making a really big impact in a whole different way. This little tree that grew up unchosen actually has a huge impact on making sure that there are deer for deer season, that there are rabbits for the spring, that the birds that stay all winter have a place to stay warm, and that the squirrels have a place to hide their nuts. That was making me think about business in the sense that desire to be perfect, our desire to follow something to the T, our desire to follow a path of somebody else who's achieved it, so we want to too, just might not be our path. And I'm okay with that. That was a hard learning for me. Here's the thing though, that's what Red Direction is built on. Red Direction is built on leaning into what the strengths actually are, not what the people perceive the strengths to be. And you know, what that means for business is as we are growing, as we are attracting people that we can be of service to, it just means that we have the ability to, with our irregularity, be more unique than anybody else. And if we can embrace that uniqueness, that particular approach to how we do business, that particular approach to how we talk to people, how we show up in the world, how when we center and ground and breathe and go, this is the energy I have to do this important work, that's actually what makes us successful. I'm thinking about, well, what are your strengths? What are my strengths? How can our strengths complement each other to get something more? How can the perceived flaws that other people have told us are our flaws actually might not even be flaws? They may not be imperfections. They may be what we need to make the biggest difference in the world, and we can leverage that. We tend to fall into one of three categories. We like structure, we like action, we like thinking. And in that, we have the ability to be able to lean into structure in a way nobody else has. Which, by the way, that means maybe we break a rule or two. We could take action with purpose, and if we're action-oriented, we might act and then collect our data. That's how I work. When we stop and think and pause and embrace what makes us unique, maybe it's a flaw, maybe it's a weakness. That's okay, because we can actually use that and frame that and decide what we want to do differently. We get to think through, we get to have this perception of what could be. And regardless of which of those groups that you might fall into, all are necessary for a successful, thriving business that is relevant over time, that is set up to grow, that is set up to sustain and thrive. This is something that we don't know what to do with. We might have all this stuff. We might say, yep, these are our imperfections. Yep, this is our uniqueness. What now? What now? Well, there's this thing called the growth framework reset, where that's what we do. We take what you have, we take what you are, where you want to go, and we just look at what is. And then we chart a course to help you get there. And we're doing it together. And it's worth a conversation about to find out if it's right for you. More importantly, it's worth a conversation because when you say it out loud, you start normalizing the fact that this is who we are. This is how we do our work here. And that is the most important thing. And what you do with it is the second most important thing, which is to come spend time with me and do a growth framework reset. So all the information you're going to need on where to go to find out more is in that down there.